Mantoso pelevre inkraka consefeletesh. Jesus, how can you know a servant? Who is a servant? Who is a servant? Who is he really? Jesus. Velenos fele iskaparanos. Jesus. One thing that you need to understand, a servant is a person who takes instructions from somebody, or he takes instructions from whom he or she considers to be a master. He or she takes commands from that person. Jesus said the congregation is over there. Some of you may understand, some of you people, you have maids, garden boys at homes. That's why you begin to understand how those servants of yours, they wait for you. That is how even the servants of God should work. Jesus, we are going somewhere. We're going somewhere. So now, one thing that you need to understand: a servant has power. A servant has power on the authority. A servant has power on the authority. So one thing that you need to understand, in the same way that a physical servant or a maid could be sent to say, go and bring this thing to me, go and do this to me, meaning to say that person has been given the power and authority to go and do that thing. Jesus. So now, even in the same way as servants, we have been sent by God to say, go and bring my people out of slavery of sin, go and deliver them, go and free their souls. Meaning to say, we have been given the power now to free them from the evil spirits. That's why now we are able to cast them out, because we have been given the power to do so. I don't know if you're getting me. I don't know. Jesus has given us power as servants. Because we have become his servants, he has given us that power. So if you are a servant, you don't have power, then you're lacking something. As a servant, you need to have power. Leave us over again, that's why now you need to understand something. That now a servant, you as a servant, you need to have power. You need to have something to show that I'm coming from this master. Lamanta suvele incrocoskele veluza latosa pelikrekinsh. So now you need to read Isaiah chapter 42 verse 6 to 7. When you read this verse, you understand to say that a servant has power and authority. God has given him power and authority. So in the same way that you are sent and you have authority, that is in the same way that we also have power and authority as servants. And again, a servant knows the plans of God. If you are indeed a servant of God, you need to know the plans of God. You cannot be a servant and not know the plans of God. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. That's what I'm saying to say, if you understand the physical servantship, you even be able to understand the spiritual one. The same way that a servant will know the plans of the master, to say, on Sunday I'll be going to church, on this day I'll be going to work, you should iron my clothes, you should do this, you should put my food late, because that servant knows the plans of the master. So in the same way as servants of God, we need to know his plans. That's why when you read Amos chapter 3 verse 7, the Bible says to say that God reveals his plans to his servant before he does them. So meaning to say, we are the first as servants to know the will, to know the plans of God. So as servant, at each and every time, we need to know the plans of God. What is the plan for you? And the Bible tells me to say that in Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, in Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, the Bible says to say that, for I know the plans that I have for you, the plans to prosper you, the plans not to destroy you. So now, that's the plans that you need to understand. What are the plans for me? What are the plans for these things that I'm doing? What is God saying about this thing? As a servant, we always must know that. because it has been given to us. It has been given to us as a gift. It has been given to us. And again, one thing, a servant always has mercy upon his life. Mercy and forgiveness follows that person. I began to read a verse. This verse, the Bible says to say that there was this lost son, and the lost son, the Bible says to say that he went and took his share. He took the money, squandered everything, and the Bible tells me to say that he began to feed the pigs, and he could be looking at the food of the pigs, admiring it, that if I could eat it. Do you know what? And the Bible says, he said to himself, I shall go back to my father. I shall tell him to say, do not take me as your son, but take me as your servant. So meaning to say, and the Bible tells me to say, as he went, his father had mercy upon his life. It is that mind of a servant. When you are a son, it means you are a servant of that person. Your father is your master. Your father is your master, and you as a son or you as a daughter, you are a servant of your father. That's why now he has started to send you on an errand, because he is your master. He is the one who fathered you. He has authority to send you. In the same way, that is how it is. A servant, mercy follows that person. That's why now you need to understand something. Saul was a king. The Bible says to say that God anointed Saul, but since Saul did not remain a servant, Saul became a king in the eyes of God. Yes, he was elected king, but by his action, he said to say, I'm a king, I must decide on my own. He never thought of himself to be a servant. God commanded Saul to say, you should kill everybody, but Saul left them to say, no, because I'm no longer a servant. That's what that statement meant. Because he failed to follow the instructions of God, he said that I'm not a servant, and that's why mercy was not upon his life. Jesus.